Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is the month of February. You know what that means? It's time for the power of color. Now, we're going to do it a bit differently this year. Normally, every day for the month of February, we would like to show you a character from a particular genre featuring a person of color and give you the specs and a breakdown. But you know what? We decided to give it a little more oomph this year. And today we want to talk about movies in cinema, in black cinema, that have stood the test of time, that are very pronounced in the lexicon, especially when it comes to black people, and talk about why they've been so influential, why they have been so great, and what about them make them so pronounced as they are. So, kicking off this week, and we're going to do this once a week for the month of February. This week, we're going to do comedy, because sometimes you got to laugh your way through the pain. All right, kicking it off from the top, what are some of the movies featuring black people in particular, or people of color? No, black people in particular, because this is about the February. What are some films that stand the test of time, especially in the realm of comedy? Who wants to kick it off? Go ahead.
I like the Scary Movie. 1 and 2.
Of
the
course.
rest of them can go to hell.
I don't know what you're talking about, because there was only 2.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone with Regina King.
Regina King was never
Sorry.
in it.
Sorry, I got the wrong Regina.
Regina
Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I got
All
the
of
wrong
us,
last name, but I had
all
the
of us
face
don't
in my
look the
head.
same. All of us don't look the same.
Boy.
So go ahead.
Scary Movie. And particularly too, because I have this vivid memory of going to the theater to see Scary Movie 2. And I saw people walk out of the theater during the scene where Sean was like, how do you prefer it, in or out? And then it does this wide cut and he has his dick tucked in between his legs. And you just see a wave of people walk out of the theater. And that's what I knew. This was comedy go.
I'll say this about Scary Movie. I thought Scary Movie was ahead of its time when it came to parodies.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it broke ground where no one. We've seen parody stuff before, but this actually broke new ground. And then of course, people took it and bastardized it. But this was one of the first steps. That way it was like great parody, great comedy, and it had a great story too.
Didn't they end up selling it to?
No, it was stolen.
It was stolen.
Oh, okay. Come on.
But they have iconic moments from the "What's Up" with him and the Scream dude to the basketball scene with my favorite scene is from 2 where Marlon is having sex with the ghost. Don't fuck it up.
One of my favorite scenes is when Regina Hall and Sean are trying to like get in the mood, and he's like talk dirty to me. She's like, and I'm gonna shit on these walls.
So I know he's not white, but to me the most iconic character from either of the Scary Movies is Strong Arm. I love that character.
Isn't that the Doritos guy?
but that is a great choice to introduce off to with the comedy aspect. Like I said, great story, great act. This is when Sean, the Wayans were more pronounced out there, and it was really, it had an effect on the culture that actually spanned for the decade that it came out. Now, who else wants to come up with what?
So, piggybacking off of that, I'm just gonna throw "Don't Be a Menace" in that pile too. And the reason,
Oh. You gotta choose another one.
Go ahead. Continue.
I feel like with "Don't Be a Menace," you get the start. Well, you get the start of the parody. Well, that's not true, but
It was satire.
with their satire, you get the start, not particularly from them, but so what y'all don't know is those spoof movies like that, they had completely died out, and no one else could do them good after like Leslie Nielsen and all of that. With
Yeah,
Naked Gun and
from
stuff
the
like
airplane
that.
models and all that type of stuff.
The Wayans brothers brought that back, and to me, now I know they did like "I'm Gonna Get You Sucker" and stuff, but I'm specifically talking about Don't Be a Menace. To me, that was the one, in my opinion, that really like sparked it in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And then like let it be known that they can really do this. They know that. Look, after the two scary movies, the Wayans kind of get a bad rap for making shitty movies.
Well,
I don't care what anybody say. I still think White Chicks is hilarious.
You're gonna get slapped.
And I'm loving that this train because people forget the lineage of the Wayans family and how prolific that family is, all the way from the Living Color era to even still today. But keep going.
But the Wayans, what a lot of people don't know is the Wayans really know their craft.
Yes.
And if it's one thing that I think is their major flaw, me and you have talked about this before, particularly with Marlon.
Yeah.
They're kind of stuck in a certain time.
They're stuck. Marlon's comedy until recently was stuck in the 90s, and my thing is you can even see that with his shows is that he leans on physical humor so much that he can't escape it.
Mm-hmm.
But to see them progress as a family has been amazing. They've added so much to the culture. They've added so much like just go talk amongst your friends and just some of the ad libs that pop up from the movies is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Going off that, I gotta go with the classic Friday. Friday, although it does have its serious notes, we pull some of our most cultural topics from Friday. Friday 1 and 2, Shut Up 3. But how do you guys feel about Friday?
I only count the first Friday.
Okay.
Me too.
I never saw 3, and the second one I saw maybe once or twice, and to me it wasn't really that funny. I think Friday was at its best with the first one.
John Witherspoon was killing it at that point. Chris Tucker before he gave up the reins was at his funniest. And how many things can we pull from there from the Dam to Debo
Knock the fuck out.
Exactly, like so many
When he snuck into D-Bone's room.
Smokey over here taking the shit.
And of course, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. Oh, was that Mid Parker? Was that
Mid Parker?
Mid Parker? Oh, the Lord is my shepherd. I see.
I want to give Eddie Murphy some love. So there's so many to pick from, but I'm gonna go to which one? I think I'm gonna go to Life.
Life was great. Life was good. I
Double
would.
dose of Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought?
And
I'm not sure if I've seen Life.
where they was in prison?
It had everything. It had heart. It had this compelling story. It had realism. But
you gonna eat your cornbread?
She don't know.
she don't know. These is white only pies. These gonna be digger pies.
Boss, he ain't working. Yeah, but Life.
Can't get right.
Yeah, can't get right. But yeah, it was like I said, a compelling story about just a real messed up situation and how you kind of how you can bring light in a comedic tone to, injustice of black people being in
Basically secondhand slavery.
It was slavery after slavery, the beginning of chain gangs and all of that stuff, and so just putting two comedians into that role brought levity to that situation, even though it was just as messed up as it was.
And watching the duel too, because
it wasn't just. I mean, we say putting two comedians in that role, but it was more comedians in there because Bernie Mac was in there. I know you probably wouldn't think of him as a comedian, but Miguel A. Nunez was in there too.
Mm-hmm. And they all stood their own. Like everybody held their own. I gotta give us another shout out to Eddie. I Can't You See Why I'm Coming to America was one of the greatest comedy movies ever presented. I know people who know the movie. I've seen that movie at least double digits. Can quote the movie, backhand, forehand, and my favorite scene is always the barbershop scene. It's always my favorite. Joe Louis, the man went from 95 to 145 and kept getting his ass whooped. I love it.
So
How do we feel about
The sequel.
no Norbit?
No,
I wouldn't put no.
what I was gonna start with was actually Nutty Professor.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too, but then I was like, let me give a swerve and see how
The Nutty Professor needs to be, it shows the range of Eddie Murphy in all his brilliance. This is acting at its finest. For you to take that many characters and give them that much composure and all of them have their own individual personality to where they're actually different is talent. What about you?
Let's get
It's involved the clumps to the crunch.
Oh, you talking about what?
How do you feel?
Professor?
Yeah, sorry, Nutty Professor.
I like Nutty Professor. One of my favorite moments out of Nutty Professor, and I joke about this a lot, is the piano scene with Dave Chappelle,
Yes.
and when he get to get back. Because to me, that's one of my favorite parts.
That's the first time I learned about Dave Chappelle.
When he's singing "Loving You," he's like, "Do do 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 do."
So,
See, in that movie, I like the dynamic because Eddie Murphy was also playing the grandma as well, right?
Yes.
And the father,
Everybody.
and just like the banter that he had with himself. She was just like, "Whoop your ass!"
It was almost like Tyler Perry learned from Eddie Murphy.
stole.
Stole.
So, but
I
my
wouldn't
thing
even
is,
say stole. If he had successfully stolen it, his stuff would be just as funny. More like he read the clip notes and then didn't even read those all the way.
but can you imagine? Well, you see the way that he was talking to each other in the scenes. Like how much talent that actually takes to stay in that mode where you can duke it out with yourself. Moving the bar a little further.
Still on Eddie Murphy.
Huh?
Still on Eddie.
No, I'm moving to another one.
Oh, I was gonna
Yeah, she
say Bad Boys.
Yes!
I was gonna say Bad Boys.
1 and 2. 3, you on punishment. Bad Boys 3 is on punishment.
Wait, what?
Yes. It was not that funny.
It was okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I think
For
they
me, I think it was meant to be more of an action.
Yeah,
they sacrificed some of the comedy for character.
Bad Boys 3 sacrifices comedy and action for character.
But that's cool. But wait. We're celebrating goodness, so let's just stick to 1 and 2. And since we doing that, I gotta give one of my favorite quotes. I am not going down for killing JoJo. Don't do it, JoJo.
Do you want some? I'll buff your ass too.
I'm gonna just say Bad Boys 2
Yes.
gave us I won't even say the funniest, I would say an interesting soundtrack. Experience. Not just that song, the entire soundtrack. Diddy thought that he could just do a soundtrack to a movie, and we were just gonna let that ride.
But I mean, pre-COVID times, you was going up in the club and motherfuckers laughing at shit. You could tell Diddy shit.
Okay.
What kills me about that second movie is always the first scene when they're at the clan meeting, and then Will Smith is just like, bang.
We have our rights. No. My favorite part. Who is it? It's the devil. The devil is not welcome.
You gonna call yourself the devil in his house?
Because we own Martin.
Wait. One more for Bad Boy. Just give me one more.
Okay.
When the boyfriend shows up at the door.
Dude,
It was like, you about 35.
You ever had sex with a man?
No, sir. Do you want to?
So, Bad Boys 2, going back to that shootout with the Haitians, the two funniest parts to me in that is the part where he's like, fucking Haitians in a motherfucking little ass room. Shooting guns.
What about when they're in the morgue and Martin accidentally drops acid and as you can see.
Speaking of Martin, we need to throw a movie that I feel is underrated that people rarely talk about, and that's Nothing to Lose.
Yeah, Nothing to Lose was hilarious.
Nothing to Lose was good.
remind me of this.
This was the one with him and Tim Robbins. It wasn't a buddy cop. Tim Robbins was this rich white man, and him and his wife is living a life. And then he goes home and he catches his wife cheating on him, and so he's super depressed. And he just gets in his car and leaves.
And Martin tries to rob him. He's like, nah, you coming with me because I'm going to kill myself.
And then they drive out into the desert. And from there, they're teamed up for the entire rest of the movie.
I saw this movie, but I just don't remember it. I know that I saw it.
It's a great movie.
They robbed Tim Robbins' boss.
I gotta give a shout out to this one since I gotta get on Eddie one more time. Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
He plays a cop called Axel Foley. That is what I wish if they remake it, I'm here for it. But I loved him as Axel Foley. You ain't gonna put no banana in the tailpipe, man.
Trying to think of another comedy. Blue Streak.
Nah, it doesn't make the list.
You don't like Blue Streak?
Nah.
Blue Streak with Martin?
Nah, it wouldn't make the list.
If I'm being fair, if we talking about really funny Martin movies, I think Blue Streak is on the lower end of that. But Dave Chappelle was funny in that.
So I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
So are there today within the last
No.
Girls Trip.
the last 5 years?
Girls Trip.
Is there anything that can compare to those old? Not compare, but like where are our black comedies?
Girls Trip is the only one. And I don't know if I would call it that good in my opinion. I mean, it's not horrible.
It was literally the
saw
Tiffany Haddish show. But,
it had to be.
But in the past 5 years, has there been a comedy that just knocked it out the park?
But that I don't even think that's a testament to black comedies. That's just a testament to comedies. Period. There have not been any real comedies to come out within the last, I would say, 10 years.
That because the only thing that comes out that's pretty much raw and raunchy are like your super bad stuff. Yeah.
So even those have died out.
But the thing is, has there been anything?
Did y'all see the Shaft, the new Shaft?
I did see Shaft. I wouldn't consider that in this list at all.
But all in all, that's us giving a shout out to some of the more prolific black-led comedy movies throughout the years. Of course, we missed several of them, and some of y'all are going to let us know. But, go ahead and put it down in the comments at the bottom. Again, this is a celebration of people of color for the month of February. And join us next week as we will cover the... you just have to tune in next week to figure out what we're talking about. But again, it's a celebration of us, the celebration of the spirit, the celebration of the media movie. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode. Like and subscribe, but until next time.
We forgot to do this.
Okay.
I was going to, but I didn't want it to be performative.
What about a thin line between love and hate?
That was a good one.
That's not a comedy.
That is a comedy.
That was a
That's
that was a
award
lesson.
thing.
That was a life
Toxic
lesson.
niggas like